Cap and trade for carbon would increase the prices of electricity. The prices firms pay to obtain another permit are additional marginal costs the firms pay to produce electricity. These additional costs push up the prices of electricity. The increase in prices has the intended effect of reducing production and the pollution it creates. Cap and trade would also reduce the production from dirty industries more than it reduces production from green industries. Green industries would be sellers in the market for pollution permits, and dirty industries would tend to be buyers. Therefore, the dirty industries will pay more additional cost. In fact, depending on how the permits are allocated initially, the supply of green goods might increase. Cap and trade for carbon would increase the adoption of green technologies. It's true. Firms have a stronger incentive to adopt green technologies. Going green either reduces the number of permits the firm must buy, or it gives the firm more permits to sell. Cap and trade would increase research and development in green industries. True. Firms are willing to pay more for R&D because cap and trade increases the benefit of new and greener technologies. Again, it reduces either the amount of permits they must buy or increases the number of permits they could sell. Distributing permits for carbon by lottery would not create a fund. The answer there is false. The government does not create any revenue or does not capture any revenue when the permits are allocated by lottery. If sold at auction, however, the government would capture revenue that it could use to compensate people hurt by pollution. True, government public interest groups could reduce pollution in cap and trade programs by buying permits and then not using them. Taking permits out of the market reduces the amount of pollution that firms can emit. The next question asks, what's going to happen if the government issues permits and lets firms engage in the cap and trade program? We start off, each firm has 3 permits each, which means the amount of pollution is going to be 6 tons. All right. Right now, each is producing 5 tons each. So we're going to go from a total of 10 tons down to 6 tons. That's the goal, is to make pollution go from 10 tons to 4 tons, from 10 tons to 6 tons, which means we want to abate 4 tons. All right. The question is, who's going to abate and how much? We know there's only 6 permits out there, but will each firm keep 3 permits and abate 3, or will they trade permits back and forth, which means one abates less pollution and the other firm abates more pollution? Let's look at what happens if firm A reduces its abatement from 2 to 1. If it reduces abatement from 2 to 1, it's going to save $72. The extra cost of going from 1 ton of abatement to 2 tons of abatement is 72 bucks. So if I cut back from 2 to 1, I'm going to save that $72. Well, if firm A pollutes more, firm B's got to pollute less. If A abates less, B's going to have to abate more. So what if B goes from abating 2 tons to abating 3 tons? It's going to bear an extra cost of $60. Well, the savings that A receives is greater than the cost that B pays. That means that A and B can both benefit if A purchases a permit from B and pays B some price between 60 and 72. 70 is greater than 60. That means that a trade can be mutually beneficial as long as the price is between 70 and 60. For example, suppose the price is 65. Well, firm A's got to pay that, but it's going to save $72. Firm A's benefit is the savings that it achieves by polluting more minus the price it's got to pay for the permit it's $7 better off. Firm B gets the $65, but it also has got to incur additional cost of abatement. Its abatement cost divided by 60, so it's $5 better off. Now notice a second trade would not be beneficial because A only saves $40 if it cuts back from 1 to 0 abatement, while B pays an additional $60 if it increases abatement from 3 to 4. So since 40 is less than 90, firms A and B will trade 1 permit, but not 2. After everything goes to the wash, firm A is going to abate 1 ton of pollution, and firm B is going to abate 3 tons of pollution. Notice, 1 plus 3 still equals 4. Still equals 4. Let's make that a little bit better. Still equals 4. The total amount of pollution has gone from 10 to 6, but they didn't do it equally. Firm B cut back more on pollution than firm A did. The net result is, though, that the total cost of reducing pollution from 10 to 6 is $40 plus 160, which is $200, which is the most efficient way to reduce pollution from 10 to 6.